Hey guys, Ron here. The other day we posted a picture, and the picture had a little saying on it that went, "The simple act of assumption is fraught with angst." Actually had no earthly idea where that was going actually when we created it, but it led us to communication. And in turn, we found out the communication was the sharing and conveying of ideas. Well, then I got to thinking about assumption, and I said, let's look up assumption. So I pulled up assumption in the thesaurus and found out that there's synonyms for for assumption is conjecture, guess, hypothesis. So as you see in the post, actually, there's just total conflict going on there, and it's quite interesting to me. As you work with the English language, sometimes you find these things, and you're like, light bulb goes off. Like, wow. But how does this relate to me, and how does this relate to my life? It actually deals with when Linda Lee and I actually have trying times, and we're not necessarily communicating, or there's tension in the air. I'm learning. I have not learned, but I am learning to take a step back, to ask questions, rather than assume that she's hearing what I'm saying, or rather than assume that she can be receptive to what I'm saying. It's easier to ask those clarifying statements. And as you ask those clarifying statements, it removes all the guesswork, and it allows us back to a truer, simpler path of communication. Now, this sounds all crazy and stuff, but I challenge you to walk through your day and guess and just pay attention of how quick we assume things. And it's very easy to do. It's almost like we're conditioned to make assumptions and judgments. And where do these assumptions and judgments come from? They're totally unfounded a lot of times, but it's what we do. So the first thing we do is once we start recognizing stuff and we start recognizing it, there's that awareness, that simple awareness. And once you got that, then you start looking and moving in different directions to battle these preconceived notions that you have. So when you're looking at assumption and perspective and preconceived ideas, it's almost like you have to reprogram yourself. Reprogram yourself to live a simpler life and have a simpler way of communicating. It may seem basic, it may seem ridiculous, but give it a try. I'm telling you, it's helped me out tremendously. I've never been one of the best communicators, but I'm learning, and that's the key here. So the biggest thing is you take small steps first. Try it out, see if it works for you. Let me know what you think. It may mean nothing to you. It may not work for you. I may be the oddity in this whole affair, and that's just fact. It just is. But give it a try. Try giving up the assumption. Try asking the questions. See if it works for you. I hope it will. Let me know what you think. Thanks.